Okay. What episode is this? I don't remember. Oh, I read it there.
You
Okay.
wrote it as 39.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's fine. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 39 of the Webcomics Hubcast that I do from my very shady room with my shady friend, Kazastrophe, who always has sounds in the background. Hey Kaz.
Yes, hi. Yeah, my dad's just moving stuff around, and yes, I always have sounds in the background because we have 3 dogs, and I currently am in my living room. But well, fun cast for her for furniture so she can move into her room. I'm joking, guys.
Oh jeez.
I'm joking. I'll buy it myself eventually.
Eventually you'll move.
Yeah, so today's show, right? Oh my god, SP, please no.
Yes.
Just a segue. I had to give him a quarantine haircut.
Wait, what?
So like I had to so I actually had to use the clippers and do his own his
Crispy dog isn't crispy anymore? I feel lied to.
he's less fluffy and slightly crispy.
It
Also,
feels
this is
like
very wrong sounding.
it feels it feels it feels like when a friend tells you they're going to come to a party and they don't show up. That's how it feels knowing that your dog is no longer crispy.
Oh god, and I think this is very disturbing. So can we use crispy to describe him? I've already shrugged off fried chicken, but
What was I gonna say? You were saying, Kat, today we're talking about what?
well, so today's show, right? We're actually, it's a little bit different because sometimes we focus on like a specific topic and we talk about what's going on and the views on it. But today's like a little bit more of a hodgepodge of like things happening all here and there because I think granted we haven't had guests in a while. Although yes, if you're interested in appearing, please let us know and we shall hook you up with like a slot up here. I think we were in negotiation to have a couple of people as well. It's just like it's taking a little while to happen.
Yeah, I've sent some emails hitting up some artists this week. Just the usual stuff. See who I can find that's got something interesting to say. That's the main thing right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because like the short story contest, like we'll sort of like talk about more things in maybe about the next show, like couple of weeks, because that's just the show before we what is it? Before we the contest ends, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, that is literally the show before the contest ends. The contest is ending quite soon. I didn't notice that June had come in. As part of
it's
so quick.
Yeah.
Can you believe that quarantine started in March?
What? Sorry, I'm slightly like whiplash, like just thinking about it.
Quarantine started in March, dude. I remember because that was just before half term. Oh God.
No, my quarantine started in March, but then for you guys in the UK, you guys like dragged your feet and were getting on with an actual quarantine.
God. Anyway, so yeah, today's the topics, the hodgepodge of things we're talking about. I think we have. I think the first thing I wanted to talk about, actually, that I sent you a message on, was about the current massive amounts of offers for people saying that I'll review your portfolio, I'll review your work, I'm looking to publish someone's work. This is like the art fallout from Black Lives Matter with a lot of publishing companies and a lot of a lot of basically comic companies, comic indie publishers, and I think a couple people who work for mainstream publishers going we can give you a chance to get get seen, get your work looked at the very least. If not, some people outright offering a contract to publish your work if they can read it and see how see what work you've done. That's a bit interesting to see. There's been a lot of those. I don't know if you've seen them. I don't know if you've seen them on Twitter, Kaz.
I have seen stuff with the whole hey, let's promote some black artists. I have seen but in terms of flat out work offers is a different thing.
I've seen one. So there's a Twitter account. I've forgotten its name entirely. there's a Twitter account that posts comic work. Every so often it comes up on my feed and I retweet what it has for people to see it. There's a Twitter account that posts like current active work in the industry and what they're looking for that it knows about. And one of the people who actually put out the job that went there was like, yeah, DM us specifically, because right now we're at home and we can answer your DMs and we want to see people's portfolios. I know that was a thing. I know that there's been a lot of portfolio reviews going around. Lots of people working on lots of different shows. The people who worked on the Cartoon Network show, or was it Disney Channel, called Craig of the Creek. We're talking. One of their artists was talking about portfolio reviews. I know that much.
Mm-hmm.
Although their show just got canceled like today.
Oh, that
Yeah,
is such
that is a bit.
shit timing.
Yeah. I know that for a lot of the people currently working in industry, there was a lot of, I will review your portfolio, post your stuff, DM me your portfolio. Let's talk about it. I've got an hour, I've got a day, I've got a couple days. If you are seeing those, do go for those portfolio reviews. And if you're doing
Mm-hmm.
those, I would love the people who are doing those to like, for everyone whose work you're taking on file, like don't just take it on file and then forget about it. Like remember it. Please, come on. Like it's not even fair. If you see someone's work and you think it's good, remember it and like, use it later. A lot of people will just like take it, look at it, be like, I'll contact you later, and then 3 months will pass. Cause life, innit?
Yeah. I think I want to question, right? Like, just why is it that people are only coming out in full force now when like something atrocious has happened and say
I
that
think
they're
it's
going to
like
prioritize
I
like.
think it's like a massive group of a multitude of things, and I want to hope it's for the best reasons. Just it's
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, if in my personal opinion, all the reason why people didn't before is because they just didn't have the time. You're working all day, like especially if you're in America, you're working all day. You know, barely have time to really think about anyone else's work, and you only see work that comes through HR. Now that you're free and available, you're stuck at home with your family. You have nothing else to do. You might as well just check some people's work out. And I hope that
Okay,
that's the
see,
reason they're doing it.
I'm okay with that being a reason. It's just that it's more like I'm seeing more of these offers coming up, like specifically targeted to like black artists during like this time of strife, and I'm just
Mhm.
like not
Yeah,
saying anything that doesn't help them is
yeah, it feels
anything that
really
helps them is good.
disingenuous. You're not even wrong. It feels super disingenuous.
Ah, yeah, like I'm not, like I'm not like trying to like shit on it, but yeah.
It feels disingenuous, and that's not your fault. That's not anyone's fault if they think it's disingenuous. It's very easy to think it's disingenuous. Like if after like 4 months of trying to work with people, like there was someone who was very, very like who was name dropping companies earlier and like people's work and like retweeting them. I think I sent you that one, Kaz. And they were like talking about how they
Hmm.
had to do so many unpaid tests for animation stuff, or worked in places that were not, and they got paid below union minimums and stuff. That was tough
Oh,
to
that
see.
that tweet popped off. Like
Yeah,
she was popping off. Like
yeah,
I saw.
lots of people got dragged in there.
I mean, I don't know if you want to just put it up like and just have a quick
Let me
scroll through
see.
so that people can see.
Let me see if I've got it, and I can just show it. Hopefully.
Hmm.
Play. Yeah. Okay. There it is. This one. It's this one. What account is this? Right. Um.
Yeah, so I mean, the thing about animation, right? I've got friends in animation. I know how punishing it can be, like whether you're in Japan or like in Southeast Asia, you're in the US and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
It
okay,
must
so
be a nightmare. She went down this list, and she started with DreamWorks. Uh, and she talks about how she was a storyboard revisionist, and how she was constantly being disciplined, which ruined her work ethic and just made her cry a lot at work. Which I'm not gonna lie to you, I have never had to cry at my current job, despite how annoying it is and how it is. But but that is but that sounds like the most awful thing ever.
yeah. I mean, I've heard of people definitely breaking down at work and stuff, and sometimes it's like it's because like things are overwhelming and not necessarily like terrible, and yeah, I mean, more power to you, crying to release. But other times it's like, hey, if you're doing it quite often, then maybe something is wrong there.
Yeah, and I think she's got a solid point because really, like, also like a lot of the stuff that she talked about was about being ghosted a lot. She got ghosted a lot, which I know a lot of employers do that because they don't remember to reply. But that is the worst thing in the world because people
I
wait.
think, yeah. Mhm. I
People
think, I
wait until the
mean,
last minute. That's it.
yeah, I mean, I mean, I think from the point of view of a person who's trying to apply to jobs, you're trying to like, it's not like you're trying to like wait your whole life like on whether they decide to hire you or not. I mean, for a lot of things, like we can always like, just keep sending applications out. But with for art related jobs like these, right, doing a test is a lot of time and energy,
Yeah,
and nobody wants to like keep applying to other things at the same time and then have to go through all these different tests while
yeah.
it's
Even
sort
web,
of like trying to be smart with your time.
yeah. Even Webtoon
Sorry,
pays
my
for
dog.
tests, which is cool. Even
Wait,
Webtoon pays for
Webtoon does.
tests. Yeah, Webtoon pays for tests. They pay. Say if they have an IP they want an artist to work on, they pay you for the test entry. You paid for that time
Hmm.
because it took you time to make the test. So like, good on them. And I'm saying this one good thing because I'm later gonna say something else about them, but we'll get to that. But Webtoon pays for testing in their art whenever they have any new IPs they want people to work on, as far as I'm aware, which is nice.
Hmm.
How
Hmm.
brainy is.
I think
um,
tell me of the illustration stories Hub would use.
let's just jump into it.
Okay, so okay, the reason why we brought up like the whole like I mean unpaid like exploitation and all that sort of stuff is because um we know comics are punishing as well. Like animation and comics are like sort of two of the same like two similar like fields in like
Yeah,
I mean illustrated mediums that just get such a huge like bad rep for like all sorts of stuff. And I know that to a certain extent, like comic production, because we should. I mean, you can still like get quite big without the need to like go into like a formalized studio arrangement and stuff like that, or
yeah,
formalized publisher arrangement. So yeah, things like tests, try to pay for them like you can, especially if you are.
yeah,
I mean, I think for commissioning something like really extensive,
yeah.
as well.
I think
Like
yeah.
say if you're right,
And
try to
I
commission
think
like
that
an
rule kind of
artist.
applies going down. Like if you're hiring an assistant and you give them a test because you want to see if they fit your criteria, pay them. Pay them for the test. It's not you don't have to pay them like a crazy amount of money. Just pay them as much as you would pay somebody to actually do the amount you just gave for testing, which would also help you like, think about how to test appropriately. But do pay them for their time because they're going to spend like and maybe an hour, maybe 3 hours coloring whatever you're giving them or flatting it. I don't think flatting takes that long according to people as far as I've heard. But they could take forever coloring it or doing whatever. Pay the people you test. The last person I spoke to who had people testing paid them for their testing time. And I think that's only fair. Treat people the way you want to be treated when you're in that situation. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of people who would be like shrug about like testing and all that. But I think, but I think even if you want to like get away with that, it also depends on the extent and the amount of work you're making them do.
Yeah.
Um, I think for a writer hiring, for the writer trying to hire like an artist to like make your project a reality, oh yeah, totally pay for that test. Like no questions asked about that because yeah. But for like someone who's like more established, like say if I'm looking at somebody who says like I want to like do flatting and stuff,
Yeah.
and like if they've offered to do the test for free, I mean, I think I would look at the project like budget, but if possible, I would still try to pay them regardless.
Yeah, I think it's complicated because we work in an industry that is usually started like that you work in an industry where like letting amateurs in is very important, and sometimes they will come in with very few skills and you don't think you should pay them for the time that they spend on there because it's not as good as you or it's not the skill level you expect. But there are things you can talk about. You can discuss and negotiate. All I'm saying is try to give them a fair shake, as fair a shake as they deserve, and as fair a shake as you both agree on. Try and actually agree on something. Don't just like just be like, oh, I don't pay anyone for tests. Someone, oh god, I know. I was on. I last night I was on Reddit. Despite my best interest as a human being, I went to Reddit, um, and there was someone talking about, am I the asshole because I don't pay people whenever they're doing like coding tests, like for the job that he was giving. He was making them do like a sample of the main code that he was putting on, and they were spending like hours on it. He's like, am I the asshole for not paying them? And I'm like, yeah. And I think that applies here too. Yeah, you're the asshole if you don't pay them, or at least if you don't agree on something, because he's just like flat out not trying to pay them, you know. But yeah, that's what I think on
Hmm. It best to pay people's. Yeah, yeah. You heard it from Mary. You totally heard it from Mary.
that. I think the next thing I wanted to cover, I have some things I wanted to cover. There's lots of little news things I found. Okay, actually, this one is just minor, and it could be absolutely nothing, right? So you know the contest is getting closer to the end, right? Kaz, you
Hmm.
there? Okay. You know the
Yeah,
contest is
yeah.
getting closer to the end. Um, Webtoon's been hiring a lot of interns. And the
Oh.
contest is getting closer to the end, and a lot of the review is manually done. I don't know. Like, look, okay, straight up. The last time that the contest was ending, this exact same thing happened. They were hiring a lot of interns at about the same time. I'm not saying they're doing anything sus, because it could just easily be just coincidence. You know, multiple departments, just things are happening at the same time. They have a time when things happen. I'm just saying it looks really sus. It looks like they're trying to get some unpaid labor, because in America, if you guys didn't know, interns aren't paid jack. So that's entertaining. It could be nothing though. Probably is nothing. But I'm just saying, feels like something, looks like something.
The,
But I
the
don't want
optics
to.
aren't great,
The
really.
optics
The
really
optics
aren't
aren't
great.
great.
That's the PR word. Yes, Webtoon good.
Yes.
They are good. Um, that's all. That was just like, it was a very small piece of information. I just wanted to let you know that was a thing. Um, okay, now to the actual main thing I wanted to talk about. Macroverse Media. Have you heard of them?
Ooh, yeah. So Nen mentioned this to me, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. So so tell us about it, and what are they planning to do?
Okay. First things first, I need to show you their website, which I need to open because they have a really, which I need to open as in a new window because the website's really clunky. Okay, the website doesn't have to be good though. I should say. I should say. Um, so this is Macroverse Media. Uh, they're the new kid on the block. The new people, the new big boys, the people coming into the webcomic market with what they call it tap based reading instead of like scrolling. So you're tapping instead. I don't think that's the exact wording, but it's close enough to what I need to say. That it's a tap system of reading. So every page you change page by tapping on the screen. That's their big gimmick. That's their big reader gimmick. But the thing that actually makes them really cool is, one, apart from a few minor things with their actual application, like their phone app, which is the main thing they want you to get. It's mostly really good. Like, it's a really good reading experience, in my opinion. Um, it looks really cool. They've got a lot. It's got like a nice look and a nice feel. It reads really easy. A lot of people take advantage of the. There's a lot of good horror stuff on there. They take advantage of the tapping system really well, because so you know how, like, on Webtoon, if you're scrolling, you can like see a little bit of the next panel almost all the time, which can make horror like
Yeah.
a little bit redundant, because I can kind of see the surprise before I even get to it if I scroll too fast or whatever, right?
Hmm.
The horror stuff on Macroverse, because of all the tap thing, you can't see a page unless you commit to it, which I think really lends itself well to horror. And they've got some really good stuff in here. They've got Dame Yaga, Dead Town, two really good horror things that I've looked at on their site, on their app. In fact, the only problem it has
Oh,
is, yeah,
and I think what I kind of like imagine, like, if you tap, right, you'd
yeah,
have to like play with like the formatting a bit differently
yeah,
in
you
terms of
do.
your.
The formatting is a bit weird. Um, to combat some of this, they've done two things. So they have, even though it's not particularly helping at all, but they have like sideways panels, like what we would consider a sideways panel.
Yeah.
for very wide panels, what they do is you tap to go from left to right across the panel. Which means that it can be, but it makes the formatting hell. Basically, if you have a comic on Webtoon and you want to format for this application, it's not going to be great. Although I don't think you're going to have that problem really, because they are taking people only on limited, on like semi exclusivity or something like that contracts. So they'll take you on because they think your work is good. They choose who comes on. Which I think is really nice because it means that it's kind of a nice curated little place. They've got an Eisner nominee comic on here, which I think is also really cool. Remind, that's what it's called. By the way, for anyone who didn't know, the Eisner nominations were like a few weeks ago. And one of the Eisner nominee comics, some of the Eisner nominee stuff is on the site. Remind is on here, which is one thing. They've got some work from Jason Brubaker. They've got some good work on here. I think their main gimmick, though, and the thing that they care about a lot, is about being paid. So you get to read like the first chapter for free, but it's kind of like Spotify, Netflix, that kind of thing. You pay a subscription, so like $4.99 a month. You get first 7 days free as well, so $4.99 a month, and then you get to use their app. My general outlook from this app and from them as well is it seems like a very nice net positive to have paid platform for experienced creators that is kind of curated. It's really nice to have also a new competitor to Webtoon that seems to know what they're doing. I don't know what they're gonna do, who they're gonna get on after this, because they've got I just want comic. They've got a very limited amount of comics on here, but they've got the stuff that they got is really good, and also I think pretty long for some of them. Do check it out. The app is on the App Store, Macroverse Media or whatever. It's on both iPhone and Android. It seems nice. It just seems nice to see. I liked everything about it so far. Just it. That's all I gotta say about it. It just seemed really cool.
Okay. So, I don't know, like, how do you come to know of this one actually?
So basically, Jay messaged me and was like, come and watch Jason Brubaker's stream. Jason Brubaker was live streaming. And on it, he was talking to the people from Macroverse because he has a contract with them. He's working with them. So they were just talking about their platform. I go and check it out. I read stuff about it. I emailed them to invite them on the show. I haven't heard back. I think they've just been busy. Corona, life, things are happening right now. But yeah, they seem nice. They seem to have a really good vision. They seem to really want this to be like, to work out. They're not trying to be the next Webtoon, but they are in the same market, according to what they said. Yeah. That's just generally, that's how I found out. And I went around, I snooped around their application for a few hours, taking design notes. Because I really liked, I only didn't like one thing about it. It overall seems really nice. They have a nice little alert window on the right side of the app. So you can like see when things get updated, but you can also see like little social media news, which is nice. It's just a really well made app. And I think if Webtoon could learn from someone, it'd be them. That's my thing on them. Anything you want to ask me about them before we go on?
No, I mean, one thing I want to question is like, I mean, it's all good and all to have the to have like so many competitors. I kind of like, we've already mentioned before, we kind of hope that for a good competitor to make sure that Webtoon is on their feet. It's I just want to see like how they peter out and pan out. And also, you take a look at the Macroverse logo.
Yeah, the logo is special. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the first thing I said when I saw that was like, why does it look like the Webtoon logo, the current Webtoon logo? Let me see if I can just get like get it on the screen for a bit. It's something. Yeah, it's something, isn't it, guys? It's something. Like, look at the logo. And if I can just get the, let me see if I can get the Webtoon logo up. Let's look at the Webtoon logo. They're pretty similar. They're pretty similar. I wouldn't say they're the same or anything, but you know, the resemblance is uncanny. But I don't know. I think that was just an accident because this looks like looks like a little squashed little like comic book, like something like that. I think that's what they were going for. At least it looks like a little comic book logo. A lot of comic book logos follow this format,
Oh.
so I don't know. But I'm not gonna make any claims that aren't true. I'm just saying they look similar. That's it. But hey, it doesn't really matter. That's just a theory.
A game
In
theory.
theory, I was trying to avoid saying that. Yeah, it looks like an action speech bubble. It does. They both do. So it's not like
Yeah.
unprecedented for them to look similar. I'm messing around. Let me be honest. It makes sense that they look similar. It's just funny that they do. Um, but they're not poaching people. They're just doing their own thing, which I think is great. It's great to see some healthy competing. That's my thing. And I know we're so happy. I know we're both like happy about new competition. I think what I really want to know from them is like from like a creative perspective is why we should trust them as creators. But then they also like are very upfront about what they take from you, like in terms of like a cut of your profits. They're very upfront about like like what they expect to do with this, how big they're planning to go. They're really managing their expectations. It feels like a webcomics industry company that's being run by a businessman. Very amusing. Um,
Hmm.
I'm liking it. It seems organized. Hopefully, it is. If I get to talk to them, I'll get to ask them directly. Maybe I'll know.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So have you been in contact already? You said.
yeah. I emailed them. Monday ish, maybe Tuesday,
Yep.
something like that. But I've also been busy. I haven't. But I don't think I've gotten an email back yet. Let's see. What are you doing? Like, you know what? Surprise me later.
No,
What was the next?
I'm just like making a note here, and
Okay,
businessman bad. That's
businessmen bad.
like.
Businessmen are all right. It's nice to see a good businessman in the industry because like artists are great
Eh.
and all, but like if the story that I'm currently working on, that I've been working on for a while, is anything to say, I don't know. Seems it's good. I don't know. No. Oh, all okay, okay, fair enough. Um, the next story that we were going to talk about was CBR. Are we still there?
CBR. Oh.
Are we still allowed to talk about them?
crap banal reviews. That's what they're called.
Okay, great. I can talk about them. Wonderful. We can do it. All right, guys. I want to show you, everyone, I want to show you the greatest headline of all time.
Headlines, in fact, like there are a
There
few
are
of them.
multiple. There are multiple. This is my favorite.
Oh yeah.
This is my favorite. There's also this one, and where is the one I really like? This one. Now, Tower of God is Webtoon's answer to One Piece. Toshi's Webtoon is One Punch Man. And like my main point here isn't like they suck because they have opinion. My main point is like don't be so reductionist about people's work. I don't know. Like, is that
Yeah.
just? I guess that makes sense. Does that make sense, Kaz? Am I being stupid?
Yeah. I mean, no. I mean, I kind of get it. Like, but I mean, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
If being reductionist about like, oh, you just like this and that is
Yeah.
almost the same as like some of our readers that I say our, that's just a general thing. Some
Mhm.
readers you get on the platform because you've got readers who just like, oh, like this character is just like a blue-headed version of another character from a famous franchise and stuff like that. You see, okay, fine. There is almost nothing original anymore. We've always talked about that. It's just a matter of
Yeah.
your execution being like polished or not. But it's still like not a good. It's just not great. So Nen,
Yeah.
I have never heard of this comic book like CBR website before,
CBR.
but
I
we've
think their
we've just
full name
we've
is.
just talked about like what?
I think their full name is Comic Book. Not resources. Comic Book Resources. That's who they are. Everything I write is original. Yes, Mary. um, I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know how to feel about this. Is it just? it seems the reductionist quality of it is what I expect from a 12-year-old webtoon reader, which is fine. I'm fine with that. When a young person who reads a lot of comics starts to liken them to each other, I get it. I do that with real comics. I say real comics. I do that with print comics. That was like the dumbest thing I said in a while. I do that with print comics a lot. And like, I really, really get why you do it. I really get why people do it when they're readers, because like it's a great way of compartmentalizing, because you're reading like 30, 40 different things at the same time. It just lets you remember stuff. When you're like a platform whose job it is to talk about this stuff, saying things like this, it makes me scream inside of my soul.
It's just as bad as like the lazy games journalism we've been shitting on, like, you know, as in general these days.
You're right. Lots of lazy game journalism. It's such a, what did Carola say? Shall I read it and do a proper review? No, I'll just see how popular it is, skim the first 2 chapters, then compare it to something that exists. Apt.
Well, the thing is, right? The category that they put under is TLDR, so
Yeah.
it kind of makes sense, but at the
Does it?
same time, I'm
Okay,
like,
the one that really gets me, Tower of God is Webtoon's answer to One Piece. They are not even in the same genre. I don't think they are. Are they?
I haven't really read Tower of God, so I can't say for sure. I have, but the thing is, I wouldn't put them in the same kind of vibe either. Like they're both shonen. I get it,
at best.
but
Okay, then like if I'm gonna follow their logic, Black Clover is the same thing. Black Clover is anime's answer to God of High School. Yes, I am the greatest journalist of all time. Fear my wrath. I'm you can't see it, but I'm T-posing right now.
can't worse than game journalism. Oh, I'd like to hear why it's worse. I mean, I don't. I mean, I'm kind of looking at their webtoon category, and it's a little bit, yeah. Like there's nothing like really. They're not really adding a lot of good stuff to the conversation. So
it's such a I don't know. Like I have no. I understand that clicks are important, and you want to get your clicks because you need the whatever publicity gives you, because you need to get paid. I get it, but like you could easily write an article, because if it doesn't matter and you're not going to get that many clicks anyway, you could easily write an article that is a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more. You could have talked about how they're similar but different. Yeah, I'm not. Tower of God is good. I'm not saying Tower of God is bad. My point is just like, this isn't even a judgment of any of the comics here. They're all really good stuff. I like I like One Punch Man. I like Toaster Dude. I like Tower of God. I like I'm loving the Tower of God anime. I like all the different things that have been mentioned, except One Piece, because it's like 1,000 chapters long and I don't have that much time in my life anymore. But like as I go through it, I just I feel like if you want to do, okay, I guess the most apt thing to say would be, if you compress something enough, it looks like something else, and it is not particularly nice to see, especially when, like, in games journalism, people do that a lot. People do things like saying like they say to
it's the next Undertale or something like that.
Stuff like that, and you're just like, okay, yeah, on a very fundamental level, they have very similar ideas in terms of like they both have protagonists, and the and the games both take place underground, I guess, but and that doesn't make them similar. Don't do that.
Is journalism like news? Also, it depends. Like, you can be writing a feature which is more like it's sort of like a mix of both news and op-ed.
Yeah. The thing with like journalism is, like, as a concept, is in real life, in the rest of the world, when they're doing journalism on actual news sites, the idea is to pass on real news. When you're doing journalism in like niche genres, niche audiences like webcomics, and you're doing niche audiences like in games, you end up with this really annoying thing where, like, the journalists' end point is they want to be the marketers of the bigger companies, because it's an easy dime. Like, think about it. If every time you could put out Webtoon news before everyone else on the front got Webtoon news, your life would be super easy. You know, you get clicks really easy. At least in their minds, that's what they see it, and it feels a bit painful to see stuff like that because I don't think these guys are like bad writers or anything. Maybe they're under a lot of crunch. I don't think the people who wrote this are like bad people. It makes me annoyed that like they're being reductionist about stuff that are actually really good, and they could have had a really nice discussion about how they might look similar but they're different. You know, I don't know. Maybe
Okay,
I'm just full of
I'm
shit.
currently looking at the Toasted Dude, like Toasted Dude equals One Punch Man thing, and
Yeah,
and like, okay, so this person actually did a little bit of homework about like with the webtoons history. By the way,
yeah.
I absolutely love Toasted Dude in both its forms. I kind of miss like some of the meminess of the original,
The
but
original has a lot of charm, a lot of charm.
but I also but I think it's lovely that in the reboot in the relaunch that there's like so much still to love about it, and like
Yeah,
I mean some things I think some things just look like really great, like with the up quality and stuff, but
makes
and
sense.
it's hard, like all like the mundane the inane jokes, which I have a thing for that sort of humor sometimes when I'm just really stressed and I don't really want to think too hard about hard like funny stuff.
Yeah,
It's great. It's great.
it's such a good turn
It
off
still
covering
hits.
comic. Yeah, it still hits. It
It
always
still
hits.
hits.
Uh, but like I don't know. Like, look, all right. I know that they do background, and that's nice. They do background, so it means that they can write a better article. But they put this out, and then you like, and I'm just okay.
uh,
If you work for a thing like this, I expect you love comics. I would really love you to write things that show me you love comics because I love comics, and I would read these articles. I actually went on to CBR's thing because I thought it was one of those like like the headline is a joke, but there's actually content inside. You know what I mean? It's like the 10, like they'll say like, oh, this guy just got hit by a bus, and then you read it and it's like, no, he missed a bus, but like it's kind of a funny story in there. I thought it would be something like that, but then I got here and I was just like, oh, okay. I guess I just wasted my afternoon then. That hurt me internally. Especially since I'm dyslexic, it takes me forever to read. So that's a whole other
okay,
issue.
so yeah, so what Kari mentions about Diamond like lapsing is a fair point, because like they because there's no like print comics distribution that happened for a bit, so
Yeah, but and like
also okay, DC has just cut ties with them.
with who? Comic Book Revolution or
Diamond
Diamond?
Comic,
Oh
yes,
yeah, everyone is leaving
Diamond.
Diamond alone because no one wants to work with them. They suck. Like, okay, all the horror stories that I've heard about Diamond
Finally.
are intense. Like, there's lots of things. Like, Iron Spike was talking about how like, for her publishing, because she runs an indie publishing house. For her publishing house, Diamond would, if they didn't get a certain amount of orders, Diamond would like mark their or like their work is out of stock, despite them having hordes of stock. But it wasn't enough for Diamond, so they'll just mark it as out of stock because it wasn't worth shipping because they didn't want to spend the money. Even though they would
Oh.
still, it's just there was lots of stories of gross mismanagement or other things like like the stories of like how Diamond, how like some comics have variant covers. Diamond, some people want to just buy the variant cover for their comic book store because they only want the variant cover and maybe they want 100 copies, right, of the regular comics, but they know somebody in their store wants to buy a variant cover. Diamond would set a minimum limit for you to buy a variant cover. So if you know somebody in if you work in a small town and you only need 100 Superman comic books, but Greg from accounting down the street really wants to buy that variant cover that's like $350, and he'll pay for it up front. He'll show up and pay for it. You go to Diamond, all right, I need one variant and 100 copies, and Diamond will be like, to get a variant, my friend, you need 1,000 copies. But I can't sell 1,000 copies. Well, my friend, I guess that's your problem.
Oh my god, that was a really good evil laugh.
Like that's how I imagine them. Like that's because you can't be that. You're either that like when it comes to acting like that. My genuine opinion is one of two things: you're either grossly incompetent or a dick. You can't be both. I mean, you can be both, but you can't be neither. And they made so many
Yeah.
people look incompetent, like to the point where Iron Spike talks about how she had to call a bunch of comic book stores and be like, "All right, don't buy from Diamond. We're shipping through our site from now on. Make an account on our site and order." Because I'm sorry, like, because they made her look like she was like fucking incompetent when she's not. You know, she's got to stock
Uh,
up. She's ready.
um, I can actually tell a story about like Diamond working with like a smaller like team and all that. Now some of you may or may not know this, but I've got history like working with Artgerm in terms of like community management, and Artgerm himself, he actually puts his variant covers on his own imprint, because you are allowed to like um do your own like imprint and cover if you buy like enough copies.
Mm.
And and for those of you who know like the print the print comic, like superhero print comics industry, like Art Gym is almost always like commissioned for a bunch of variant covers to like if title needs a sales boost, and they almost always like sell really well. So he decided to go into this sort of thing, and his one of the issues that he's been having like with Diamond is that their packaging was like the stuff was incredibly slow to ship. Stuff like arrived like damaged in shipment, and they've and it's kind of unacceptable considering how long this took. This was way before COVID, by the way, and so he's having to like obviously like reorder and stuff like that, and this is something that really shouldn't like take ages to sort out. And if you've been in the business for like 25 years plus, why are you still like having like so many damaged shipments like that?
Yeah,
Like,
it's insane. Like Carrie's even pointed out something really good. Diamond doesn't care how much you sell because they're a distributor. They only care about how much they sell, how much the shops. They don't care about how much the shops sell. They only care about how much they sell to shops. Which means that like for if you're like a comic production company, Diamond is like, well, we sold 3,000 copies of the Green Lantern, but we sold 10 million copies of Squirrel Girl, which, don't get me wrong, is really good, but isn't going to sell, isn't going to really ship 10 million units, you know? So then comic book company goes, well, Squirrel Girl sold 10 million units. Let's put her in Avengers. Like, like they make decisions based on the numbers they get and the numbers they're getting aren't proper. So they're making decisions that make them look like they don't care about their industry. Their industry is going, you don't care about us. The audience is going, you don't care about us. It's just that disconnect. And it's all because of one crappy company run by a dickhead.
yeah, and I think they've got like loads a huge monopoly. Like I think they bought over like some competitors as well in the past. If
They suck. Just get that. It annoyed. No, sorry. I have an intense annoyance because the moment the coronavirus thing happened, the owner of Diamond went on Twitter, and I had the unfortunate grace of having those tweets in my timeline as of the time, and I've never hated someone so much more in my life. After
okay,
like 3 tweets.
can we show them like if
Let me
it's
see
still
if I
up?
can get them up. If it's still up, let me see if I can get them up. Just you talk about your any other Diamond horror stories you got. Diamond owner.
Or like what you've heard. Yeah, I mean Kari's not wrong on that.
Printing. I'm trying to find his account. Is his name Steve Geppy? That's his name. That's his name. Steve Geppy and his Twitter. Where do I have to find him? Yeah, like wait, where are they? DC's cut ties. I love the fact that you found that out.
Yeah, I've just like scroll. I was just scrolling through like some of like the news in here, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool.
I think his Twitter.
It is cool because I think someone needs to stick it to them.
Yeah, I think his Twitter account is down, or he's not using it because only the company accounts left.
Ooh.
Yeah, he made an announcement the other day about how comic companies are coming back up. I'm just gonna write his name. Or
Oh, okay. So Bleeding Cool did a feature on his lack of social media.
yeah,
Social media feature. Yeah.
there's his account. That is him because he just posted a video of himself. We're all his unfortunate opinions. Such a no. Let me see. That was like when they shut down. They didn't need to pay their production houses. Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, have you got? Oh, that was terrible.
Oh yeah, the Bleeding Cool stuff. Yeah, he was like tweeting at like he some lady wrote I don't want to read any. He just keeps like retweeting people's nudes and then going, really like it, send pictures please. Why does he exist? Whatever. I'm not, no, fuck this guy. I can't.
I mean, you say fuck this guy, but probably don't fuck this guy.
Oh yeah, good point. Oh, why did you make it gross? Why?
You're welcome, man.
I feel
You're
attacked internally. God, I'm shuddering.
I think right. It's absolutely great that DC was enough was quick enough to think on its feet and do something like this.
Yeah.
The statement right from the statement on DC splitting from Diamond was saying kind of makes it okay. So let me read. In April, we were informed that DC was going to begin distributing products through additional partners. That's what Geppy wrote. At the time, they asked us to submit a proposal for a revised agreement with the understanding that Diamond would continue to be one of their distributors, which we promptly did. They then requested an extension to June 30, which we also accommodated. Last week, DC requested an additional extension through July. We responded with questions, and DC indicated that they will reply today, June 5th. Instead of receiving a response, today we receive a termination notice. While we had anticipated this as a possible outcome, we, like so many others in the industry, are disappointed by the decision to end our partnership so abruptly at this time. They would reply doesn't necessarily mean they're going to reply with a favorable thing.
I know, right?
And instead of receiving a response, we received a termination notice.
What? See? Okay. We continue to be excited about the growth potential in the comic, game, and toy industries, as well as growth opportunities for other Geppy family enterprise companies. I truly believe that our comeback will be bigger than our setback, and our best days are ahead. Sure, Steve.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh God. You ever let's be real. They're done. If they crawl back from whatever, if they use their last Horcrux to crawl back from whatever grave that they come out of, I hope it's not publishing anyone's work, printing anyone's work ever again, or distributing anyone's work ever again. Damn. Just damn.
I mean, I kind of go break it all up. I think you know when we talk about Amazon,
yeah,
and people say, "Oh, break Amazon up." I kind of
monopolies are bad, people. Monopolies are bad. I can't believe I'm saying that like it's a thing that. Okay, guys, let's see what else is there. Let's move on to something. Okay, here's the discussion topic of the day. The one I really wanted to discuss. This is the opinion bit, and I'm going to ask you this question once because I want to see what your first reply is. Do you think that webcomic sites like Webtoon, Tapastic, whatever, right, should be in charge of the user uploaded sections, as themselves? They should moderate them as strongly as they would per se moderate their front page.
Oh, this is we talked about the whole publisher versus platform thing, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it's like the same. It's unlike social media, which is just purely a platform. This one is different.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's why
I think as it is already, people kind of sometimes don't get that there is an official webtoon like curated published kind of thing
Hmm.
versus like, hey, this is like the YouTube part of webtoon.
It's because that's an impossible distinction to make. Unfortunately, like YouTube has entirely user uploaded content, and they're held responsible for every single thing that goes on that website. Whether or not people know that they should hold them responsible for something is a different argument. But if someone sees something and they report it, that's YouTube being held responsible for it. Now, the question that comes about, I'm asking this question for a couple of reasons. One of them is the fact that there's a lot of copyrighted content on Webtoon's canvas. A lot. It's like one of my favorite things to read is there's a comic called Dragon Ball Z that's Goku versus Naruto. I mean, it's called like Goku versus Naruto, or Dragon Ball Z versus Naruto, or something like that. And that's content that someone's uploaded. Someone is uploading, and again, that's not a crime, but somebody's also uploading, like, as I say, it is kind of a crime. But I'm not mad. I'm just saying, like, should they be responsible for that? Somebody's uploading a single frame of SpongeBob. That's the one frame of the animation of SpongeBob a day.
Oh my god.
I think they're on like season 3 now. It's been going on for a couple of years, I will say. It's hilarious.
But Nikki, so here's the thing, right? I think to a certain extent, like, I mean, that kind of thing should be allowed up. Like, I don't see what's wrong with having a parody like version of something, but monetization is a tricky issue.
I mean, even if it's not monetized, the thing with the YouTube issue isn't even about YouTube cares about, like, YouTube knows that when a big company goes, I want my content back because you shouldn't be making money off my content, even if they're not making any money, that company can take it and monetize it for themselves, so they can make the money for themselves if there's any money to be made, or block it, because some of them just want to block it. And I feel like where Webtoon's at, the bigger they get, or where Tapas is at, the bigger they get, this question becomes more relevant. No.
Mm-hmm.
Another quick reason I'm asking is because there's been some questionable choice content on there. Okay, so there was I think I tweeted about it a while ago. There was an alt-right comic posted onto, it should, if it's because it counts, if it applies to YouTube, it should apply to Webtoon. There's an alt-right comic on there, like, really weird, really, just I think Zebra asked to see it, and she was just like, this is gross. Why is this on there? And why did Webtoon put it on specials and promote it? So they promoted it. So an alt-right comic got uploaded. Whatever. They promoted it. What? Did you not read the thing that you put on your specials section? And if you don't know what specials is, guys, it's literally the second tab after, like, under the when you're looking at the featured canvas stuff, or the canvas stuff that they're promoting. So they put it there themselves. Which I don't think any of them are assholes or anything. I'm sure it was just like, they looked at the cover, they thought it looked good. Maybe they looked at the first chapter and thought the art looks all right because the first chapter is pretty unassuming, and then just took it on like that. But, like, how do I put this? It's Comicsgate stuff, dude. It's Comicsgate. It's so Ethan Van Sciver adjacent. It was very worrying to see. And Jay was the one who found it and showed it to me. And I'm just thinking, okay, that's a mess up. But shouldn't you be caring about the kind of content you let people read on your platform?
Yeah, because, like, if it's not up to like Webtoon to manage it, who is supposed to manage it?
Yeah, I mean, there are 3 people in charge. I'm just saying, like, hire moderators, because your platform's getting bigger, and you don't seem to have enough people who are looking in the back. At least, I could be wrong. Maybe you'd have a ton of them, but it'd be great to know that they exist. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that? How do you specifically? I want to know how badly you think this will go. How well you think it will go if they did something about it.
Hard to say. Radar was saying, like, does 47 USC Section 230 CDA apply to Webtoon? What is that? Can someone
I vaguely remember it, but I'm gonna Google it properly. Oh God, computer noises. I'm so sorry. 47 USC section 230. Yeah. The protection for private blocking and screening of offensive material. So it's just like how do I put this? It's their job to basically like look at what's on there and moderate what's on there. They should, yeah, it's a Communication Decency Act. It basically says try and stop online platform protection from the content that people upload on their sites. No, that wouldn't apply to them then. That's not the same one that I thought it was. It's not the same one. They wouldn't apply to them because YouTube gets held accountable for all of the offensive content. I think all it means is that they can't be like sued, even though they were the first time this happened, like 2010ish, just before Google bought YouTube. YouTube was dealing with a lot of lawsuits because of content that was uploaded onto their site from a lot of people. So that's very complicated. You there?
Yeah, I am around. I'm just like, I'm trying to wrap my head around this thing a bit. The law.
Basically, I think what Momo Gigi's asking is like, does this apply to them? I don't think this applies to YouTube. I don't think it would apply to them.
No.
But it could. It might. It might because they've got a lot of people on there. But
I think one thing worth noting is that like all these things, right, when it comes to like the internet and laws of the internet, like platforms and stuff are relatively recent things that have been like produced, and like obviously like people are split on how to best govern like and police these sort of things, which is why you have like people who talk about but to uncontrolled free speech, y'all, and also people who think that you really should police every single thing, and it's like
I think it's complicated and hard to do, and no one really knows.
It is.
But I guess I think it's also like, good. Go.
No. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think it also, but I think at some level they should also probably consider looking at that. That's it. That's all I got. But like you were like people. There's always people on either side. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. They're not liable if there's questionable content. The word questionable content is such a vague word. Have you noticed that that's a thing people use? Questionable content. It could be anything. It could be the literal picture of somebody falling off a cliff, or it could be like just a boob. Questionable content. I know I'm laughing because I said just a boob.
Boop, beep, boop.
Boop. Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, and then what would your ideal situation be with regards to like content like moderation and stuff with Webtoon?
I think I'm just gonna make sure, but I think they have like a reporting app, a reporting function on the app, where you can, like, if you see a comic and you have it on Canvas, you should be able to report it. I think they do that. I might be wrong. No, they don't. I was wrong.
I think they have got a number of like very strict policers on Canvas these days. I think I think at least one person in the audience can tell like of some experience with it. So
yeah. I think I know they also got Malikas, who's a nice creator that I've met like once or twice. They they took down one of her chapters because it was pretty violent. To be fair, it had the character biting someone's ear off, and it was quite graphic. But to be balanced, it wasn't that bad. And it was marked 18 plus. So, I think it'd be great if they had a reporting function, but otherwise, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there absolutely is I think there is a reporting function. I need to double check though.
I just went on the app. I didn't see one, but maybe I don't know. Good first episode, blah blah blah. Information, nothing. Specifically for a chapter. Only share. Yeah, you can't report anything. Oh wait, there it is. If you read the chapter and you go all the way to the bottom, there's one singular report button. So you can report individual
Mhm.
pieces, individual chapters. And you can also report copyright infringement. Okay, there's a report button. It's hidden, but it's there. It exists.
It's not really obvious, is it? Like,
Yeah. It's gray on white, the best color scheme. We all know
oh
that.
yeah, oh god.
We all know typesetters, light gray on white. Every audience member can read that. Never use black. It's a bad color, and it means people can't read black on white, but they can read gray on white. I believe in you guys. I mean, it's there. That's what counts, and that's the best point. It exists, and maybe some good will come of it. Maybe more people should learn how to use it. I don't think people really report content though, and they've got people who supposedly like look on there a lot. It'd be great if they also like. Did, I hope they also like moderate it. Mm-hmm. I think the most unfortunate comic is that chess. I don't think I told you. Did I tell you about that chess comic?
No, what is it?
There's a chess comic that's about so like, you know, in time in chess you've got the black pieces and the white pieces, right? This is gonna get really awkward for you. The chess comic has in the chess comic, the black king married the white queen, and then the black king killed the white queen, and the white pieces complain about how they're constantly antagonized by the black pieces by saying, and then one of them they said, "Why are the blacks?" There's a line in there I think that says, "Why are the blacks so bad, so mean to us, so horrible to us?"
Oh, that sounds really bad out of
and then I
context.
stopped reading it. I stopped reading it. And I just walked away. Yep. And then I went back into the comment section and I was like to the creator, I was like, I don't think you thought this through. It seems a little I don't know if you understand like, you know, how this is gonna look. And then they were like, it's just chess, there's nothing wrong. And I just went, okay. Cool. Cool.
That is oh my god.
What the fuck am I supposed to say to that?
I mean, mad props to them, but at the same time, this is not the kind of thing that. Yeah.
Like, what do I say to that? I just kind of went, all right. I'm not having an argument on Webtoon. Side note, non sequitur, complete non sequitur. It just came to my mind because I remembered this comic. If you have an entry for the contest, make sure you've marked your entry with either H or B in your title, and make sure that you do not have a cover page. I just want to let people know it just occurred to me, and hopefully you don't do this. You tell all your friends, don't have a cover page. It's one page and it disqualifies you. Don't forget to put the B or the H. It also disqualifies you if you don't have it. Cool. Anyway, yeah. So the blacks are so mean, right?
Oh my god! This is so ironic as well.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Salmon. Those things do genuinely. I'm saying that for real. Yeah, they're screwed. I tried to tell a couple people if their work is good, but I don't really try to. SP, stop quoting me, you bitch. 2020. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh god. Like, I could get mad, but I don't even know how old the person drawing it is. They could be like 15. They could be like 12. And whatever.
Sorry, I still can't get around. I can't get over the concept.
Neither can I. It's actually, you know what? I'm gonna go look. I'm not gonna show you guys, but I'm just gonna go give it a quick the old college look. The old college search. Let me see if it's still up. What's it called? What was it called? What was it? I think that's it. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna open the first page so I can find something. Oh, there's a wonderful one. I'm gonna just read you guys a couple of lines from it if you don't mind. Is it okay, Cass? Can I do that? Actually, is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
go ahead, totally.
The White King accused the people of the Black Kingdom, but they denied. No wedding could have helped. And something broke in the chess world. We lost peace, and I lost my best friend. War took place. I wish peace, and today we still feel the animosity between the kingdoms. I wish peace could remain again. If only war could stop. It will, I am sure of it. Blacks didn't make any moves for months.
Oh no! Oh my goodness!
And then at one point, a black bishop shows up into the town, and he's carrying a knife to murder people. A black bishop, he's coming this way. Mommy was right. The black bishop is coming. She gets stabbed. She screams for her mom.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And when I made my comment where I was just like, this whole whites versus blacks thing ain't it, chief? And they're just like, I mean, it's just chess. You're overanalyzing it. And I really want to read this last line.
Ebony and Ivory is pretty like all right, I think.
Yeah, like you can get away. We can just about get away with Ebony and Ivory in fucking Devil May Cry, but like,
Ebony and Ivory.
I think my favorite thing is how all the black pieces are portrayed to be incredibly violent.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. I feel.
Yeah. Also, I totally agree. It sounds like a good drinking series to read, like a dramatic like dub or something.
Right now, I feel so represented, guys. Yay! Fuck me with the fucking toothpick. Jesus Christ. I've wanted to tell you this for like 3 weeks now, but
why did you not?
Because it was just like, I'm just overthinking it. Maybe it's stupid. And then I was like, you know what? There's no better time.
I mean, we are a podcast about webcomics and stuff, so you know.
Representation done right, guys. That's what you should do. Don't listen to all those other people telling you how to do representation. Just.
I imagine it's got its own like cult like fan base.
Bruh, it's just a game of chess. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Sorry, like I don't know. I'm like still like
I'm so
paralyzed in a way.
I'm so gone right now.
Same, totally same.
God.
Well, I don't know. Then in the 2 weeks since we've left the topic of the short story contest, I need to like mention that there are some people who have just started their entries.
Yes, a lot of people I know have just started. It's been terrifying. I'm just now that since we're on the topic of vaguely of short story, all people just started. They think they'll finish in 4 weeks. Too many people want to pull an unfins here. You're not. Don't do that to yourself.
Okay, I can understand if they have like been like doing it until they've finished like the chapters and then they're just waiting to release now.
Yeah.
However,
a lot of them I know are drawing right now. A lot of them I know are drawing. I mean, like right now, this second that we're talking, right now.
Okay, you're saying they're pulling on Unfins, right? Did Unfins actually like just do it last minute and like pull a Hail Mary?
Yeah, he said it. Like I don't think he's lying. Last couple of weeks, he just draws it all and then he gets it in time. First shot, first scar. Like I don't know, it's crazy. Like yeah, don't procrastinate. Try and get it in and out as soon as you can. But if you don't, it's okay. But I don't know. Look, this is my main reason, my main logic, right? For the contest, for that I tell most people to follow. I mean, you can call me on my bullshit. That's fine. But here's my thing. Statistically, you're probably not gonna win. And I'm not saying it like your work isn't good enough. I'm just saying like you're probably not.
There's just so many people.
Yeah, so many people. And like If you win, good for you. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you, and I will drink a toast to your success. But let's face it, you're probably not going to win. So it's good to not look at this as like as like this is for me to win the contest. Enter this with the intent of making something good, new, and interesting. That's what you should enter this with the intent for. Do that,
I think what
and this will be
yeah.
easier for you.
I think the sad thing is that there are some people who just not very realistic about their not just the chances but also their skill level.
I don't think that's bad. Look, I know like we all say this, but the greatest I think like kind of like the greatest part of YouTube is the fact that a lot of people started uploading there when they were very young, making not very good stuff, and eventually making good stuff. I think the best part right now of Webtoon is that it allows a lot of young people to put their work out there, have opinions be given back, but also like kind of contextualize and understand the difficulties of making it on your own when you're making stuff. And for a lot of people, they'll learn some really good lessons. For some people, they'll come back learning fuck all. But I don't care about those people. I care about people who learn
I
good
think
lessons.
yeah. See, the thing is, right. The reason why I'm slightly like cynical about it is because I've seen like a lot of a number of the youngsters who join in. They're not realistic about where they stand in terms of like quality, and then they get really sore about it
That's an
after they
inevitability.
don't win
Yeah,
inevitably.
yeah, that's inevitability. But I think the payoff is worth so much more than the cost right now. It's a lot of people, getting sore, but for a lot of people I've seen just getting like the single reader, and the single comment, and they're so happy, and they're like, someone saw my work, which means I can make good things. At least I can try and learn to make good things. And
I mean, it's not. Yeah.
I've stopped
You go
reading
ahead.
all the good ones. I've started reading all the ones that look questionable to me. And like I get to the end, and I'm not like leaving like, hey, you suck. I'm like, hey, I really liked all these things about your comic. I hope you can grow this part of the thing that I like a lot more, because there's no point telling them negatives. They know. Like I think the biggest thing you need to like, I love people who like to criticize work need to know. Every artist knows what's wrong with their work. Most artists know what's wrong with their work. I change it to
Yeah.
most. I change it to
Questionable.
most.
Questionable.
Most is good.
Questionable.
Most is good enough. I think most is good enough. They know what's wrong. They know why it looks wonky and weird. Wherever it looks wonky and weird, they know why the lines aren't. They might not know how to fix it, but they know it looks weird. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they can fix it, but I'm saying they know something's wrong most of the time. And I don't think
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't
Mm,
think it's not worth doing if you don't have the skills. I think totally do it. Like, good, have fun with it. It's
yeah,
just that I see the way that there's some people just like freak out about when they don't win, and it's like, have you compared your work to you know the
the
other
first,
stuff out there?
yeah,
Yeah, no, and see again, like I mean, again, I know it sounds really gatekeepy of me because I am indeed like a professional. I vet these things like necessary
yeah.
for payment and stuff.
It's okay.
But
It's nice to have a small.
no, I'm just slightly cynical because I don't want to dampen people's enthusiasm,
Mm,
but at the same time, these are people who say that they want to be they harbor like dreams of being plucked from obscurity, like some Cinderella of some sort. They
yeah,
think like they're gonna be professional and that, and sometimes you just don't know when to like smile and go like, okay, keep working hard and stuff, or to tell them, look, are you for real? Because I think obviously it depends on like how they're behaving. If they're like nice and like harmless, I'll just be like, yeah, you'll
yeah.
get there eventually, and not say so much.
I think the
But
one that
honestly, like,
I'm gonna
yeah,
say though, I think the one that submitted late, that I'm very upset that it submitted late, because it actually looks really fucking cool. Although you're right, your point is completely correct. I just want to say it before I actually go into this. Point's really correct. Don't be salty because you're not doing well. Learn from it. Understand that maybe you're not doing well because you're not appealing to people. And if you get some criticism or some feedback or whatever, take it in good faith and feel better about the fact that next time you can make something better. And I think if you're talking to another creator or a creative friend who's trying or starting out, you should say that to them because it'll really help them out. Um, okay, can I do the non sequitur thing now? Is that okay?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the thing that I've read. Okay, I still have like two favorites, right? Currently have two favorites from the contest, and yes, is it nepotism that I'm using my very small platform to call them out? Yes. Am I going to do it anyway? Yes. My two favorites currently are still. The first one is still Blue Scale. I still really like Blue Scale. It's still really good. The ending just came out. I'm very happy. I love it.
Ooh, I've been waiting to binge it.
Yeah, all 4 chapters are out. It all looks really good. I love it. I read the last one, loving it.
Yay!
Then,
Congrats on finishing, by the way. Like, what
yeah.
did you?
And then my favorite, one of the things that was introduced to me was something called "How to Escape the End of the World." And okay, let's just say the ending is like big boy twist, and the art's really good. Like, if you like horror, if you like sometimes looking at something that's a little bit grimy and scary, there's only 1 chapter out. If you like looking at grimy, scary stuff, it's gonna get you. And I'm gonna. Is it okay if I show them a panel?
Yeah,
I'm trying to find.
not?
I'm trying to not show them like an important thing. I'm just trying to make sure I don't spoil it for them. But I think this is okay. This one is kind of obvious. It's not like okay. So I'm just gonna make you. You're gonna look at this. If you can't stand like gross, gory stuff, don't look at the screen. All right, Claire. Everyone had time. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Transition. Swap screen. That is intense, in my opinion. That's a lot. That's just a lot to look at. I'm changing the screen in like 2 more seconds. And yeah, this thing is really good.
That's a bit much.
That's a lot, yeah.
Holy.
But it's good. It's good. Like the at least the first chapter is really good. There's only 1 chapter out. I didn't want to show you guys the more graphic. By the way, do not open the beginning lightly. The beginning will get you. It will really get you. He really opened with a bang. But I really want you all to see it because it's a lot. Okay, now that I've shown you that, it's really good. The ending is the biggest twist of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a bigger twist than the secret idea that that Kanye West was planning things for like 4 years so that he could be a supportive individual now. It's a bigger twist than that. By the way, that Kanye West thing's a lie. It's amazing. I think everyone should check that out. I think everyone should check out Blue Scale. 2 really good things. Different sides of the spectrum. Please, when you're reading How to Escape the End of the World, do like don't eat before you do it. Okay, cool. I've done my nepotism. I just think it's really good work. I just think it's really good. I hope they get the last 2 chapters out in time so they can qualify. It's so good.
Oh gosh, yeah. I know the feeling about trying to have to like push chapters out in time though.
I feel like you've just opened the chapter and you saw the beginning. Did you like the beginning? How did you feel? Did you read it? Did you just read it when you were scrolling, or was I imagining it?
No, can you no, which one are we talking about?
How to escape the end of the world.
Can you link it to me? Because I don't think I don't see a link. Yeah.
Just
throw
like
it into my Discord.
Be careful. I didn't want to open. Yeah, be careful with the beginning.
Yeah.
They've put like dates. So chapter 2 for the end of the world thing comes out tomorrow. Hopefully, that's gonna be nice.
Mm-hmm.
They make it in time.
Wait, where'd you link it?
In the staff chat.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was very confused. I was like, I didn't know where you were gonna send it.
My phone.
Yes. It looks really nice actually. Like it details aside.
I don't want to just not opening.
Yeah, it's just like that the typesetting though.
Yeah, but
too much space.
Should hurt anything.
Also, why? No. Sorry. I mean, when you're in like this for so long, it's just hard to like.
No, that's fine. I'm messing.
Also, why is the text like left aligned? Oh no, you should not.
I don't know. The typesetting for me was also like the biggest issue, but overall, like I tried my best to zone out and just like give it a fair shake. Because a lot of people have bad typesetting, right, in the contest. But I just gave it. I just wanted to like get through it, and oh my god, it feels. The dialogue is nice. I like the dialogue. It's nice. Okay, but just
the dialogue is okay. It could use a little. It could use some like punctuation tweaks here and there.
Yeah, but I mean, like it feels like real people are talking. That's my thing. It feels like a lot. It feels like because sometimes it sounds awful, but this one feels like real people like arguing, talking. I don't know.
No, yeah, that I will give it that. It's
Mm.
just that obviously the visuals don't help. But the visuals of the dialogue don't help it.
Yeah.
But it is very. Oh wow. Okay, the ending of that chapter is really trippy.
I told you, the biggest twist of 2020. Everyone like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Biggest twist of 2020. Straight up. Unless something crazy happens in like the next like 3 days, this is still the biggest twist of 2020. I'm loving this beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. They haven't like got any other work on the webtoon before. But yeah,
Yeah.
at least the art's good. Like, it's just a matter of like if the typesetting improved a bit, like it would be a proper like
Yeah.
you know.
I know. And I think that's something to improve. But like for an experimental work, yeah, hell yeah. Check those two out. I'll link them at the end of the show so that I don't forget. So I will forget unless someone. I'll remember. I'll link them when we end the show, as we're ending, and I'm linking everything else. Okay, Kaz, is there anything else we got to cover? Have I forgotten anything?
I don't think so. No.
Have we actually done it? We finished the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, that means I get to remember the links. So yeah, for people who are on both sides, the links for the comics that I just mentioned today using my nepotism are here. Do please check them out. See if you like them. See if hopefully you enjoy them. I hope I just sent them and I haven't just messed up and sent nothing. I think I just sent nothing. I'm just gonna do that. Get that one out. Get that one out. For some reason, they have not sent. That is strange.
Oof.
Are they like sent and not worked or something? Oh.
Are
okay.
you using Restream? There you go. There,
Yeah. For people on Twitch and for people on TubeView. For some reason, it works when I do it individually. Check those two comics out.
Well.
They're really good. But before you go and check those out, let's just celebrate the end of the show. Yay!
Whee!
It's nice to see you guys today. It's always been great. I was trying to rap, but I don't have anything. I know life is really tough right now. If you can spare $1 on Patreon and just join, that'd be great because it'd be nice to see you there. It'd be nice to know you're supporting us. It's real big helpful. I love you guys for that. If you got time to watch any of our older podcasts, go on the YouTube channel, binge through them. They're all on the playlist as well. I made sure to make them easy for you. You got time.
Suggest topics. Suggest topics for us too.
Suggest topics. Give us tea. DM me on Discord, please, and also Kaz on Twitter. Or me on Twitter. They're both fine. If you want to know my Twitter, it's at earthbound_M, also known as that dickhead guy. And I'm joking. It's at earthbound_M. You can DM. You can find me on Twitter. You can find Kaz at Kazastrophe. That's at Kaza, and then Strophe like a catastrophe. Yeah, that's the word.
Yep. That's totally why I kind of chose my name in the first place.
PHE, not FE. Remember that. People are gonna put FE. I swear to God. Let's see. You can join our Discord. The Discord channel is available for you to join and come. We spend a lot of times at night talking about random stuff, to be quite honest. I've yet to understand the correlation between what we talk about and comics, but sometimes we talk about comics and it's really fun. Talk about publishing houses. It's been great.
Yeah, sometimes we go like, oh shoot, someone got dropped. Like someone got dropped like they were hot, but they're no longer hot. So you get what I mean.
Follow us on Instagram. We have an Instagram actually. Sometimes I post things on there. If that actually works, I hope that link works. No, that doesn't work.
Nen curates a bunch of like cool stuff that I never hear about. So
I don't do anything. Anyway, we have an Instagram. It's Webcomics Hub. Everything's Webcomics Hub, really, except and our names are on should be on all the accounts, so you can follow us there. I think that's everything. Thank you for showing up. You guys are lovely.
Yeah, we'll be okay. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. Pending anything off and stuff. We'll probably by that time it'll be like towards the end of the short story contest.
Yeah.
And pray that I get entries in Kari out all fully in time. I think the third one's underway. We've actually scheduled 5.
That's awesome. Okay,
Yes.
like, share, and subscribe. Do that. Please do share our content.
Yeah.
We'd love more people to see it.
Yes.
We're making more things. We're trying to make things more regularly. I'm working on longer project that will take a lot longer, and it'd be great if I knew more people could see it. Thank you very much for all the time you spent with us. Thank you very much for everything that you do for us. For like 2.5 years of support, you're all wonderful people. I love you very much. Episode 39.
Please stay healthy and safe. Yeah. No, it's really funny because because like in episode 39, if I were to say it in Japanese, it's "sankyu," which is like "thank you, everybody."
Thank you.
How fitting, guys.
How fitting.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
But yeah.
Until next time, I've been Nan.
Yeah. I've been Kaz.
And I'll see you on the next one. Probably.